There they go into the back. The blue line on. We have a race, and Satnova's beaten Pure Steel out by a length and a half.
Welcome to Talking Trots, hosted by Morts and Michael Radley on Tab Radio, Racing and Sport.
The sensational Sydney sider, Seals to Sam, comes off the back straight. He's a bucket load of alliteration, this fellow.
Scott Bomber Hill will join the boys to look at the Friday night meeting at Gloucester Park.
Here comes Quinny. I'm the mighty Queen is 4 deep and letting go.
Sit back and enjoy Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley.
I'm the mighty Queen is just in front. Dasher VC can do no more. And the West Australian champion has done it again.
Yes, hello and welcome to Talking Trots in another big week. We had Mr. Smarty last week win the 4-year-old classic. Never-ending returns this week, and then the big clash the following week in the Retrovision Golden Nugget. A great way to finish the Group 1 season with two of outstanding paces clashing with a really good support card as well. They're not going to get it their own way. It's going to be a great race, the Golden Nugget. But this week, we get to witness the running of the San Simeon, a Inter-Dominion champion himself, and folklore about San Simeon in the Inter-Dominion, and it's only apt we're racing the Inter-Dominion series at the same time at the moment, but a great time for racing all up. Morts, as I welcome to you, it's been great racing across Australia.
Certainly has. San Simeon was a favourite. Louis Austin. Yeah, just...
Yeah, we got to replay the Inter-Dominion a little bit later on. Have a little bit of a flashback.
And you remember, horses like San Simeon, they were a star surrounded by stars.
Yeah,
they weren't just a outstanding horse with nothing to race against. You know, over that period, there was some outstanding paces, and they were racing really good horses. So
still holds the record. Is it 27 in a row? First 27 races. He was beaten in the Inter-Dominion Championship by Michael Frost and Joe Ilsley. Michael Ilsley might have driven it that night, but...
Yeah, it was definitely mid to something 20s.
I think it was like 27, 28.
Well, I'm sure Bray can Google that for us whilst he's sitting there checking up his Tinder account.
Yeah, what a great WA horse around this time, and it's a great race as well. It's a very even race. It's a fantastic race on paper, and it's a race for up-and-comers.
It's a very good field on Friday night, the San Simeon, I must admit.
There's a couple of good 3-year-olds, a couple of good 4-year-olds, a couple of good 5-year-olds.
Yeah, Tuvalu. As you've got Man Down coming back after a short break, you've got,
Golden Load.
Montana Glory, good last start winner, Instigator, Louis Dior, just Golden Load. It was a great win last week as well. So, no, it's a really terrific field. So, looking forward to that on Friday night.
Indeed. No, it's going to be great.
It is. Last week, Bomber was plus 2 units, and you got the multi at $2.07. So, fortunately.
Good result.
Yeah, it was a great result.
What are the odds?
Yeah, no, Steve Sell, not required.
No, was it? Thank God. Required. God bless him.
And Ollie had 6 bets across the weekend for a couple of winners, but so he might have pinched a little bit of Bombers winnings, but we finished up in the positive. It was a great night at GP last Friday night, as always. Atlantic Gem got the night off to an easy watch with an all-the-way win for Ryan Bell and Kyle Symington. They're a formidable duo, aren't they?
Aren't they?
Ryan and Kyle.
And Kyle's obviously had that break. And they'd formed that partnership before that, going over, and here's a real loss to WA harness racing while he's away, and now he's come back. He's making every post a winner and represents WA starting next week in the Australian Young Drivers Championship during the last week of the Inter-Dominion Carnival,
and will do a very good job. It's just a great combination for Ryan and Kyle. They've done really, really well. So, and they got it off to a very easy watch. And then in race 3, just did it again with, what are the odds? Driven very patiently as well. Yeah. So, brought up a double for Ryan and Kyle, was very good. Then Jaws of Lincoln for the Prentice Stable. Got the run, finished powerfully. 152.9.
Yep.
That's pretty sharp. Home in 27.4.
Jumping Jack back was good again. He was better, like... A few questioning him after the previous run, but that's the top. He had to use him out of the gate, and he ran home really well. And obviously, Captain Ravishing did a lot of work sustained speed, but just he's just tractability didn't help him in the end.
Now, Captain Ravishing is he's really gone up in my estimations, and reason being is I did find out that the current trainer of Captain Ravishing,
yes, Gemma.
I wasn't going to mention names, but
well, everyone knows who it is.
Oh, right, okay. Really?
No, I don't think it's a secret.
I don't know if Bray does.
I don't think it's a secret.
No, but I found out they listened to our podcast.
Really?
And even more importantly,
really,
Silverchair fan. Gotta love it.
That doesn't surprise me.
Well, gotta love it, Silverchair fan. So, yep, it was great to hear that. So we've got another listener, which is good.
Add it to the list.
Now, Mr. Smarty, what a win, Michael.
Oh.
Didn't think he was going to get there, and then he did what only good horses do, and he won. He got up off the canvas and he won, and only good horses.
And chased down a good horse in Lusaka as well.
Correct, because Lusaka looked home. Well, I was hoping it was home because they actually had a little bit each way. I thought it was a good each way price, but the winner was just too good.
Yeah,
he was outstanding.
He was very good. And yeah, as you said, only good horses do what he did. And also good run. Sky Lord was better.
Yep.
And Rolling Fire was much better as well.
Oh, I thought Rolling Fire was really good. Really good. So
great drive by Trent Wheeler.
Certainly was, and then
he didn't get a double, but I tell you what, his drives were peaches.
Oh, it's just great to see him having so many drives at Gloucester Park, and the wins will come. Don't worry about that.
Yep.
Very, very, very capable. Now, Penny Black looked absolutely cooked on the corner.
Just keeps on coming, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Tough as old boots.
Now, I think I actually saw the kitchen sink. I'm sure I saw it. Junior threw it, everything. He absolutely, and that's what good drivers do.
He looked tired afterwards.
Oh, he should have been, because he threw everything at it. Very vigorous drive, but he got up to win. And, you know, it's so important because they're trying to get into the golden nugget. I'm sure that that win was just imperative. And
like it was his last drive of the night.
Absolute ripper.
He had to lay down afterwards.
And then the old boy, Galactic Star, got a nice run throughout and finished strongly to win the last on a very big night at GP. Was a training double for Ryan Bell and a driving double for Kyle Symington, and no surprise, a driving double for Gary Hall Jr. Friday night at Bunbury, and these dual Friday night meetings,
they're the best.
They are great.
Really good for turnover.
Great for turnover, and I think it's also good for other opportunities.
Young drivers coming through, that's right, get their chance.
Get their chance. So terrific down there. Bunbury Friday night was a good night. A training double to Bob Millsop and a driving double to Lauren Harper and a driving treble to Aldo Cortopassi. He's been on this list a bit lately.
A lot.
Doing very well down there. Saturday at Narrogin, just a driving double to Gary Hall Jr. Monday at Pinjarra was a driving double to Dylan Edgerton Green. And Tuesday at Gloucester Park was a driving double to Chris Folk and Gary Hall Jr. So, big week, Michael. We had all that plus inters.
Yeah,
everything.
We're going to talk about the inters after we speak to our guest, Mike Reid.
Yeah, looking forward to speaking to Mike. He's got some really good chances, and hopefully Ragazzo Max got past the post now after getting held up, and he's able to take him home. But looking forward to talking to him very shortly.
Well, let's get straight into our special guest for this week, which is Mike Reid. And last week, Montana Glory, great to see her back in the winners list. And she's got a great chance this week in the feature race, the San Simeon, after she drew the pole. But let's go back to last week in the Laurie Kai Mobile Stakes. And it was a really good win. Great front-running drive by Shannon Savalco. Here's Montana Glory.
Swift and Rebline around the turn. Montana Glory in front. Peaceful will keep digging. They're clear now from Sunshine Swift, Rebline, and further back Seagrass. But Montana Glory is doing it well over Peaceful with 100 metres to go. Montana Glory clear. Peaceful trying its heart out in second place. And then Seagrass and Our Lady Gem. But Montana Glory all the way. Montana Glory beat home Peaceful by 3.5 metres.
Yeah, great win on Friday night, and well tipped by Trent Cooper as well in the Gloucester Park preview, the Retrovision Gloucester Park preview on the Friday morning. And Montana Glory trainer joins us on the line now, Mike Reid. Mike, welcome to the program.
Hello, boys. How are you?
Yeah, really good, and you must have been really pleased with the win and a great drive from Shannon last week.
Yeah, he loves being in front, Shannon. But no, the horse went good. She's had problems, but hopefully we're over them. And I think what she did last Friday night, I think she'll improve this week. Yeah, I really do.
Which is good news to hear because you've got a very good draw. But to Michael's point, Shannon Savelko in front. I don't know if there is any better in WA, Mike.
Yeah, he drives good. I always tell him the winning post is where it is, not leaving the back straight, just jokingly. but he's a good driver. He's as good as there is down there. As you said, once he leads, he's very hard to get past, that's for sure.
And Barrier 1, there are a couple of nice horses drawn to your outside, which have got a bit of speed. Instigator or Lua Dior, Man Down, I could keep going. There's plenty of them there. You're confident you can hold up?
Yeah, I think we can. She can come out very quick. She could hold up, and I haven't spoken to Shannon, to be honest. But I think during Barrier 1, I think we should hold up. She worked Wednesday morning. She worked with the fast class horses, and she worked better than they did. So I don't think we'll be handing up. I think we'll be leading, and whatever beats us home will beat us home. But she's absolutely jumping out of her skin. Yeah,
well, that's good to hear. She's an outstanding mare, and it's a really good race to see in Simi for those horses coming through, isn't it? That's a lot of potential from the horses in the race, and it's a very classy race.
Yeah, it is. It's, as you said, Mike, it's gives the horses a chance, the up-and-comers a chance to mix it with a big time, and I think it's a great incentive for the owners to put the horses in these sort of races, and it just sees where you're at with your horses, and that's a great race. It's about 9 or 10 horses where you'd love to own, that's for sure.
Yeah, it certainly is, and you're going to have one of them right on your back too, number 10 there. You got What Are the Odds? So just a race which is just full of depth. So we look forward to that on Friday night. But it doesn't just start and end there either, Mike. You've got in race number 3, Ragazzo Mac. Just a touch unlucky last start. Still hasn't got a run, if I'm correct. Amazing. Just Shannon couldn't go anywhere and looked like was climbing all over the back. Goes into a race on Friday night. Has raced in better company. Has raced in some really good company over his journey. How do you see him going Friday night? Just drawn, maybe a little bit sticky there in 5 with a couple of the other good hopes drawn inside?
Yeah, it's a tricky draw. We got 3 Hawleys inside us, so it'd be interesting what they're going to do. But Shannon came off the track Friday night and said his exact words was, "It's the biggest certainty I've ever been beaten, I've ever driven." He said if he just got out, it would have won. Yeah, absolutely. But I wasn't concerned. It was only his second start back from a long spell. He's had 2 easy runs, which is ideal for him. So. I think he'll go really good tomorrow night.
How do you handle the break? Has he come back? Like, obviously, when you have that long off, it takes a while to get back.
Yeah, he's come back good, actually. We gelded him, which I think was the best thing.
Yeah.
But no, he's still big in condition, but each hobble run he's getting better and better, and he's never really been a track worker. But his work on the track's been good, so I think he'll go good tomorrow night. He's definitely tuning up, and that was the keenest he's ever travelled in a race. Usually he's off the bed and just hanging in there, but the other night Shannon said he was on the verge of pulling, so he wants to go. So he'll be nice and fresh tomorrow night. Yeah,
he certainly did. He just couldn't get a run anywhere, and Shannon was just sat upright with the trying to look for somewhere to go, but couldn't get there. As we said, tricky draw. I think that he can win the race. Myself, whereabouts do you see him in running, Mike?
Yeah, I think. One of the horses will lead. Which one I don't know, but I think we've got to go forward and try and get in somewhere. If he got caught outside the lead, I honestly wouldn't really bother me. But I leave the driving up to Shannon. We talk about it, but he always has the last say, and so I'll leave it up to him. But I think we've got to come out and have a crack early, come out and open them up a little bit and try and get in somewhere. Yeah.
Because the other thing is, Cownie Island Lou, he can really get on the steel if they send him forward. Like he could cause some troubles if he doesn't find the front and pulling, because he can get on the steel, Cownie Island Lou.
Yeah, he can. So no, it's going to be interesting. So
that's why you got Shannon on.
I think there's going to be a bit of speed on in the race, that's for sure.
Yeah.
In race 4, Flying Rumour freshened up, got a good draw, but you're up against a fairly handy horse here that's been racing in very good company, and I talk about Swing Band, of course. How do you see the race unfolding, given you've got a really good draw there, Mike?
Yeah, it's a good draw. When I draw one, I hate handing up because you don't draw one that often. So, but I think in this race, if Swing Band gets there first, we'll be handing up. So it'd be a good horse to sit on. But we want to pick the horse we want to sit on. We just don't want to pick on an average horse. Sit on an average horse, try and pick something that's going to cart us along to the line, But I think he's definitely a place chance for sure. And if he gets the right sort of run, who knows? He always goes good fresh, this horse. If you front him up week after week, you'll get a run. You'll get away with it maybe 2 or 3, but then all of a sudden he just puts a shocker in and you just got to fresh him up again. But he's working good. So, hopefully we can sit on either Swing Band or I think Aiden DeCanto's horse wouldn't be that bad a horse to sit on. Yeah,
he's a nice horse, Flying Room. He's done a great job for you. And then we go to the stand start. You've got Blitzen by first up. And this is a really good race. You're meeting a couple of 4-year-olds here and you're coming off 20 metres. But this is the type of horse that has been racing free-for-all company.
Yeah, he's come back good. He had a good long spell, which was good. So 20 metres, I honestly think he'll need a run. Whatever he does, he'll improve, but I think we'll just be holding him up and letting him lot on at the finish. But hopefully he can win. If he doesn't, if he's on to place, I'll be that. Yeah, but whatever he does, he will definitely improve because he's a hard horse to get weight off, and the only way you get it is racing him. But 20 metres, it's a pretty good field. So if they run up tempo early, he'll be in it. But yeah, I think he'll need a run, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, the stable's going pretty good at the moment, Mike, and it's a good time to be going well as well.
Yeah, it's going good. All the big guns in the paddock. I want to bring them back, although Waterloo's just come back. So
okay, how's she gone? How's she enjoyed her spell?
No, terrific. She had 5 weeks off at the owner's place, and she's come back looking magnificent. Just full of duffels. I've never seen a horse come back from a spell as good as she did. Yeah, she looks really good. Yeah, so Better's Pride, he's back. I think I got a very high opinion of that horse, Better's Pride. I think he's a real good horse. So he's back in work, and so now things looking good. Fabulous Dream. She's still at the paddock, but she won't be that far away before she comes back.
And how are your yearlings that are 2 next year coming along? Have you got a few that you think will make the grade?
Yes. There's one by Tall Dark Stranger out of I can't think what it's out of, to be honest. And Montana Glory's brother, full brother to Montana Glory. Michael Munro breaks them and gets them going, but he likes them two the best. So hopefully he'll be right. He's been a pretty good judge up to date. When the ones he says he likes are usually good, and the ones he says he doesn't like aren't much good.
It's good. It's good to have a good form reference, isn't it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, that's good.
He's a very good judge, that's for sure.
All right. Is it called Profit Share?
That's it, Profit Share. Yeah.
Okay. Profit Share by Always Be Mickey, aren't they going good?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are going good, aren't they? They're just getting,
And they continue to get better as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. They do. They get better, more. I think you're right. The more older they get, seem to be better they get, just like the betters the whites.
Yeah.
They just seem to keep getting better and better. Yeah.
Yep.
Now, Mike, tomorrow night you've got a good mix of horses in. What's the best? What can we have our hard-earned cash on tomorrow night?
I think Montana Glory, to be honest. I think she's her work yesterday morning was just top class. So yeah, I think she'll run a real good race. I'd say each way her for sure all day.
There we go. The Montana Glory, race 5, number 1 in a very good field. So a lot of confidence, which is good.
Yeah, she's going really good. She came over from New Zealand with laminitis. When she got off the plate, she had laminitis.
Oh, yeah.
Dave Murphy and Kim Rose had a look at it, and they said she'd be lucky to race. But we went and got an ice machine, and we stand her in ice 3 times a day. And since we've done that, she's really come to hand. And I got the ice machine from Retrovision, and they were very, very good. Very good and very good on price too. They were cheapest in town. So
Thank you for
an ice machine, just get to Retrovision.
Thank you for the plug there, Mike.
Well,
Good on you, mate. It'll cost you.
Mike, he loves when you go, because not only do you get an ice machine, you get a TV and you get a coffee machine.
Yeah, I know. I hate going. I want to be banned from there. What do I got to do to be banned from Retrovision?
You're gonna have to ban yourself, I'm sorry, because we'll always roll out the red carpet for you. Don't worry about that.
No, they'll look after you there, that's for sure.
Good people, Mick and Moya.
I think of the lady's name there,
Moya.
The lady. Yeah, she's terrific. Yeah, She really looks after you good, yeah.
Yeah, no, lovely people, and we appreciate your business, so thank you for that. And hopefully all the punters are going to have full wallets after Montana Glory gets up and wins, and they can all head out to Ellenbrook Retrovision on Saturday and buy themselves an ice machine.
Spend up for Christmas, that's right, exactly. So,
couldn't agree more.
All right, boys.
All right, mate. Really appreciate your time, Mike. Good luck tomorrow night, and we'll see you out there.
Good on you, mate. Good on you, Beck.
Good on you. There we go, Mike Reid. Very, very loyal customer.
There he is. He's
Ellenbrook.
He's emptied the wallet in Ellenbrook a few times. You know, they're great people at our Ellenbrook store. Mick and Moya, they're,
Sue doesn't like it when he goes.
No. Only problem with Mick, he's a West Coast Eagles supporter, but we won't hold that against him. Yep, that's the way it happened.
Indeed. All right.
Oh, hang on a minute. Do you barrack for the West Coast, bro? Okay.
Really?
You know, all these things start to come out after a while, don't they?
Yeah. Well, your trainer does.
Yeah, I know, but I've gotten over that.
He was very excited to talk to Glenn Jakovich on Friday night at Gloucester Park.
Oh, I'm sure he was, yeah. The great Jacko.
You're like this, bro. They said, there's Glenn Jakovich. And I said, who's he? He doesn't play NRL.
Doesn't play for Newcastle. No, the great.
I had no idea.
The great Glenn Jakovich. Now he was.
No idea.
He was a superstar.
Had a good conversation
Michael.
with your
he
trainer.
He was a superstar.
You're wearing the JP Pacing shirt.
Yeah, of course.
Get to sleep in it tonight and wear it out tomorrow night.
Yep. Got the club colours, and we'll be here tomorrow night for a big night of Never Ending, and the other horse in too, Michael.
Mickey's Beach. Very short in the first race.
Yeah.
Very short in the first race. Unlucky probably not to be in the main race, but...
you reckon?
But saying that, you can go around and pick up the prize money in the first at $1.28 on Tab Touch. Now, Morts.
Bit difference in stake money, Michael.
Morts. You don't need it.
You don't want to close the gap, do you?
You don't need it. Never Ending. Missed last week, the 4-year-old classic. He's here this week in the free-for-all. Up against Lavery Joe. Drawn one. It's a great race. Justin was on the breakfast show this morning, the Sports Daily, with Trent and Digby. Tim and Digby. Trent.
Tim and Digby.
I gave Trent the plug in the previous with Mike, but Tim and Digby, Digby calls him Tom, which is very funny. But Tim and Digby, how is he? Obviously, Justin gave him a good rep today as the owner. What's the update?
Yeah, look.
Can you give us a further update from this morning when Justin was jogging his horses? You could tell he was jogging the horses when he was talking to them.
Yeah, look, nothing further. You know that if he wasn't right, he wouldn't be racing.
No, 100%.
So that's always the indicator. If he wasn't
ready to go,
good to go, he wouldn't race. He just wouldn't race. So
and it's going to give a great yardstick to where he is racing these quality horses.
Look, it will. They could.
So he's not going around against a normal field where he's just got to roll to the front and
could
reel off sections.
This could be a single file where they could go just dawdle, which means that he's going to need to try and flush somebody out to get in the race and put some speed on, which is going to be difficult because they'll want to get his back.
I had a good chat to Junior on Friday night and talking about who he's going to drive, and I just thought, he's going to drive Mr. Smart. He is really torn. Like, just talking to them, you can tell that he's really torn of who he wants to drive, because I think everyone's forgotten how good Never Ending is. His performances against those free-for-all horses, which Mr. Smarty's now racing and doing a similar job against them.
Yeah, ran second in a pacing cup.
Yeah, but Never Ending was doing that against him, giving him starts and beating before he went to Menangle. Yep. And I think we've forgotten maybe how good Never Ending is. I mean, if he comes out on Friday night and touches them up, all of a sudden, I think that's why Junior is torn, because it's the bias of the immediate round of seeing Mr. Smarty as opposed to not seeing Never Ending for a couple of months.
Yeah, and of course the as we know, the draw is going to have a big bearing on which horse he drives. But
what a great couple of horses, and we've said all along, and it's a great crop. And the other horses that are there that have done such a good job, and it's so much depth. Like, a number of these horses could have won a Golden Nugget in any other year. Yeah, that maybe 30, 40 to 1 this year.
It's a bit like hay list, isn't it? You know, you just run into one that's just too good.
That's right.
And the 4-year-old horses going around have bumped into a couple that are, better than average. Yeah, a lot better. You look at Mr. Smarty last Friday night. Yeah, and how good was that? And we've seen Never Ending do a similar thing in a Pearl. In a Pearl. So they're very capable.
Against the same horses.
Yeah. So it's going to be a cracking race. Really can't wait.
I just want him to come out and make a statement all of a sudden.
That'd be good.
And it makes it hard on Junior, but I think it's great for racing. And the Nugget rankings came out this week after that race. Chivalry jumped up, running third in the 4-year-old classic last week.
Yep.
And also his run before that was also in the top couple. Interesting, Penny Black only jumped to 19.
Yeah.
After winning the consolation. I thought she might have been higher. I think her trainer thought she probably should have been higher.
Probably sure he made a phone call.
But also, you've got to look at it as well, because Hotly Pursued we haven't seen. So he's, you'd imagine, not there.
So. Yeah.
And I haven't spoken to the team, but you'd imagine not there. And All Is Well has had one trial 3 or 4 weeks ago. So if he nominates, he's probably in, unless something happens this week.
Yeah.
But
I
doubt whether he's there. So all of a sudden, it's Sky Lord and Louis Dior taking the position, unless Penny Black comes out this week. And
so if Penny Black
another statement, or even
comes out and wins, then what happens?
Well, that makes it interesting to see where she jumps to.
Yeah, and that will then depend on how Louis Dior
and also how she goes, I think, as well.
Yeah.
Because she comes out and just brains that field of really good mares. I know it's restricted to mares, but surely it's got to have some implications after she was really good against her age in the consolation. But saying that, whether she can jump over horses like Sky Lord, who was really good in the 4-year-old classic.
Yeah. And needed to be.
Or Louis Dior, who's done a really good job. He's good in Pinjarra. So whether she jumps to like 15... and which makes it 13 that's the big question. But
but that's what the depth of this race is all about. 100%. We're talking about horses that in any other year would be just
and you've got Artie by the Seaside, who was nominated this week but didn't accept.
Yeah.
So whether they nominate and accept next week is another question as well, because she's had a big campaign.
She has.
So that's another question of so what's so important to be in that top 15?
Yep.
Because all of a sudden you could be 15th, but you end up 12th.
Correct. So no, it should be
really important.
Be an interesting week, and like we said, there's going to be a couple of horses, and one in particular is going to be Penny Black, to see how it goes on Friday night, to see where it finishes up, and then what happens with Hotly Pursued and a few others. So got a lot happening. When's the barrier draw, Michael?
For the Nuggets?
Yep.
I'm not sure. I'd imagine Tuesday Tuesday morning or Monday morning. Tuesday morning on Tab Radio, I'd imagine.
Okay, because they would do it.
I haven't. Yeah, I'll be pushing for it to be on Tab Radio just to get it out there as early as possible. But I haven't heard. I haven't spoken to Tom. Tom usually informs me.
Because that's going to be, look, I know we'll certainly be sitting by the radio, waiting to see, because it's going to have a huge bearing on that race.
It sure is.
And, how it unfolds. So, no, that'll be great. That's what racing needs. Racing needs good horses.
Yep.
Still just can't get over
All right. Now,
Mr. Smarty last week.
Now, some news before we get to the end of Dominion.
Yes.
Because it's
Michael.
been. Now, Racing WA consultation on harness trials. RAWA is seeking industry feedback on proposed changes to the trials, where we conduct the trials, and what times. So the proposed changes are: Byford trials move to every second Wednesday, with the timing morning or afternoon to be determined on industry feedback. Pinjarra trials held every other Wednesday in the current format. Stand-down trials for horses that are stood down from Friday or Saturday or Sunday, a trial before race 1 at Pinjarra on Mondays, which I think is a great idea because it allows you to get back.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think that's a great initiative to hold it at Pinjarra, the stand-down trials. But interesting that so no more Sunday trials.
From Byford?
Yeah, so we moved to all Wednesdays, but alternating between Byford and Pinjarra.
Be nice to give some of the trainers a
day off if they can. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there we go. You can give industry feedback to the email industryfeedback@rawa.com.au.
Yep, no, it's good. Be interesting to see what.
And if you go to racingwa.com.au and you go to the racing information section under harness, it's also got the updated nominations and acceptance times for the Christmas period as well, because there's a few changes due to public holidays and all that. So that's there.
Yep.
And also announced this week is the change to the Knights of Thunder series.
Mm-hmm.
So heats of the 17th, final 24th of January. And it'll be on paces with 0 to 4 metropolitan wins, with heats drawn on the basis of metropolitan wins.
Mm-hmm.
Maximum 9 starters, so that doesn't change, because obviously the new handicapping systems come in.
Oh, of course, yep.
They've changed the qualifying criteria for the final to still the fastest 9, but the winners are ballot exempt.
Right.
So
makes sense.
Yeah. So that's been
makes
agreed
sense.
to.
Because that happened before, didn't it? Where a horse.
I don't know whether it did. Might have happened.
Yeah.
But either way.
Yeah, you don't want it to happen.
The conditions were the conditions. So you either run the time or you don't.
Yeah.
But this is just a change that.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, you either run the time or you don't. It just I've spoken to trainers who've gone, I'm happy to win the heat and get the money, and I may not have been good enough for the final anyway. So,
but anyway. Sometimes races that just run different ways, and you've got to drive your horse to win the race.
And honestly, it's one series.
Yeah.
Like, it's not as if it's a multiple series. So it's not, you don't have to deal it all the time. So it's like, but there we go. That's the change to that, Morts. Now, Inner Dominion.
Yes.
Jeez, Wednesday was tough.
That track was pretty average.
I wouldn't have wanted to have been at Bathurst.
No, not the place to be. She was pretty muddy there. Saw a nice win by our mate Jackie Callaghan.
Narano.
Yeah, it was a really good win. Just bolting behind him and got the split, and of course Don Hugo. And so it was very good.
No good for Minstrel, who had a hobble short and a pin stay in.
Yep.
And then I think the cord might have even wrapped around. So that was unfortunate for Minstrel. He ended up running last. So he's actually equal 12th in the rankings in the current point score.
Yep.
But he would go in currently because he's won a race.
Yeah.
So it goes back to that. Yeah. So the fields are out for tomorrow night, obviously. Now, he is currently $4 equal favourite still for the grand final with Don Hugo.
I was going to say Don Hugo must have come right.
Captain's Knock is at $4, and Captain's Knock is at $5.
That was a good win.
He's a really
in the
nice
first
horse,
night.
as you know.
Yeah, it was,
He's
it was new Rico.
And then was back 3 pegs on a wet track. So
Yep.
he's really good. Now Minstrel's 205.
But it was an interesting drive on Captain's Knock in the first heat that he went in. Took off, took off around him and looked like he was going to get to the front and didn't quite get there, but managed to get back in, get a trail, and still had enough left to win.
Good drive by Hollywood, who's actually in the Ultimate Drivers Series.
It's one of the Hewitts.
Brad Hewitt.
Yes.
Now Minstrel he's in the second heat on Saturday night. Drawn 10, which is one off on the second line.
Yep.
I think it's a perfect draw trailing through. They've put up 210. He's in 2.5. I think he'll start odds on. I think he'll win. I think he's a good thing on Saturday night.
You don't throw many. Actually, you don't throw any out, Michael. So there we go.
Not too
After
many.
5 years, we've finally got a winner.
There you go.
Potential winner from M. Radley.
Now Tenzing Bromax had good support. He's in the first heat, which is race number 2 on Saturday night. He's drawn 2, $6 to $4.20 on Tab Touch. Don Hugo's in that heat. He's at $1.85. Jim RT's drawn 1. He's at $6, and District Attorney, who's got good speed for Jack Callaghan, drawn 3 at $7.50. Interesting tactical race there as well. And I don't. Well, he won't make the final. Tenzing Bromax.
No.
And then the third heat, we've got Captain's Knock. No, he was in the previous one. We've got Curly James has drawn 1, 3.10.
Mm-hmm.
Captain's Knock is in the race, drawn 7 at 2.90. I think this is his type of race. Can't find a Metaband's in the race. It's $5.50, and Max Delight at $6. This is probably the strongest of the heats, which reflects the betting, 2.90, 3.10.
Yeah. Now, Can't Find a Better Man was very good first up. Caught him napping at the bell, and
the puppet.
Yeah, went on to win. Yeah, well,
isn't he? He's just the man.
He's a ripper. Went on to win. Went on to win very easily. Very easily.
He's won a couple. He won 94 on the Great Golden Rain in New Zealand.
Oh yeah, Golden Rain,
and obviously Lenny the Shark here in WA. But he's he's like fine wine.
Lenny the Shark,
the puppet. He continues to get better. But it's a really good series, and really looking forward to Saturday night. But Minstrel needs a big performance, but I think he'll do it. I think it's a great draw for him, just following through.
Yeah,
Denny can just decide when she wants to go. And I think she'll just be too good for them.
No, it's good having a WA horse in.
And I think if she doesn't win the heat, then I don't know whether it can win the final. But anyway, I think he will.
I'm still happy with my price.
Yeah.
For the final on Minstrel.
What was he, $7.50 at one stage or something?
I wasn't lucky enough to get, wasn't quick enough to get that, but got a good price, and he's got to be very hard to beat.
Now, before we got a couple of things to mention, this segment is brought to you by Loans 123, car loans, debt consolidations, all your personal finance. Who do you see?
Well, luckily we didn't see him last Friday night, but you would normally see the nude nut, Steve Sell. At
loans123.com.au, or the very easy to remember 1-800
100 100.
And they are still doing
things that the banks can't, Michael, and fair income. If you talk to our very good friend Steve Sell, now if he can't get you sorted and you've got issues, you probably want to think about things, because he can get anybody sorted, Steve Sell. So
he sure can.
Get on and see him.
Now, it's been a really sad week this week, Morts.
It has.
2 people that I was really good friends with and had a very close association with have passed away. The great Colin Watts, who was 97, great innings.
It's a good innings.
Spent a lot of time at Harold Park just chatting to Colin. He was Mr. Fairfield, but just from one of the greatest harness families of all time. His father is the great JD Jack Watts, who raced in the first Inter-Dominion, also drove Captain Sandy to win Inter-Dominion. He himself tasted Inter-Dominion success in 1966 with Yamamoto in the Trotters, and his sons have continued on. Graham's one of the most talented horsemen I've met. He brought Takanarama over here. He won a Golden Nugget.
Yep.
Won a heat of the Inter-Dominion, I think 96. And his other son Colin is the the racing chaplain, Colin Jr., who came over and actually worked with Glash, Father Byron Glasheen.
Yeah.
And they opened an Indominion over here and blessed us, which we needed. But Colin was one of the nice, I think one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. And he came over to he's got a lot of friends and family in WA, and he came over for 12 and I think 15 and 16, and he sent me a lovely note saying he couldn't come to Lazarus's in a Dominion. He was a great man, and really sad that Colin had died, but had a great innings, 97.
Yeah, absolutely. That's terrific.
Just such a good fellow. And Graham, I'm great friends. We always chat with Graham when I'm back in Sydney and run into him. And the other one is the great Dennis Wilson, D.W. Wilson, who had a lot of great horses. He was at his peak when I was starting at Sky Channel and coming through. Was very good to me, and I was close to the stable. And at that time, at it again.
Yeah, very handy horse.
Yeah, ran second by the barest possible to Holmes DG in a Miracle Mile. And Holmes DG was actually staying at Dennis's place. They came on the same float for Barry Purdon. Ran second in an Indominion behind Newell Star.
Yep.
But he also had horses like Lots and Lots. He had a horse in our opener called Seals to Sam.
A bucket load of alliteration.
Well, it's funny. He said to me, he came back and he said to me, "That caller's a good caller over there, John Hunt, isn't he?" I said, "Yeah, he's a great caller." He said he called him a bucket full of obliteration. I said, "No, he didn't." I said, he called him a bucket full of alliteration. He goes, "What's that?" I said, "Seals to Sam, the sensational Sydney sider speeding along in front." He goes, "S's?" I said, "Yes, yes, S's." But and Dennis actually came over for one of those Inter-Dominions. I don't know whether it was Smolder or Lazarus. He was with one of his friends, had a horse in, and saw him down the stalls, and he was in a bad way at that stage. He ended up could hardly walking around and walking sticky. He ended up having 2 hip replacements and I think a knee replacement.
Nasty.
And I caught up with him at the Inter-Dominion. I think it might have been King of Swing's last one. And we caught up and had a drink and chatted, and he was good as gold then, and he was back, and he was back to his normal self. And I'll tell you what, every time you ran into him, Dennis Wilson had a joke for you. Probably couldn't tell it to anyone else, but he always had one. Always had a joke, and was famous for telling jokes as well in Sydney. Yeah. And 2 really, really good people that I had a lot to do with, and really sad. Died within successive days, which is really sad. So it's been a bit of a sad year. We've lost a few.
Lost a few. They're all getting older, and some old legends around. But no, very sorry to hear for all their friends and family
and great people. And actually, Dennis for me, I went over for the 2001 New Zealand Cup and worked for it for Sky and Trackside, and they said, we want to put the lollipop camera on a horse, and I said, I'll get Dennis to do it.
Sorry, what's a lollipop?
The camera. So it came off the shaft.
Right.
And it looked at you and it was like, that's what they called it, but it was like on a little stick.
Yep.
And it sort of turned and sort of looked at the horse and then looked at Dennis, and everything. I said, I'll get Dennis to do it. And Dennis, 100%. And Dennis was really confident. He led up and he actually dropped out and probably only had a handful of starts after that New Zealand Cup. But he was really hoping he could win because he wanted to show the Kiwis. He was really happy to have the camera. That was what he was like. He was a really good fella. But would do anything for you. Yeah. Anytime he wanted to interview, and had a lot of friends was in the industry a long game. Loved the old Newcastle Showground. Had a lot of success at the old Newcastle Showground, which was I think 554 metres.
Oh wow, jeez, like a 20-cent piece just going round.
Yes, like he actually joked to me one day. He goes. Like it was like 5 or 6 laps, and he goes, I just take pebbles out and drop one each lap.
Well, you'd have to.
Yeah.
Get dizzy around that many times.
Yeah, had a lot of success, a lot of good horses, and it was very good to me, and so was Colin as well. I really indebted to them both, and it's been a sad week, Morts, on the back of losing a few people this year.
Yep, it certainly has. But it's going to be a good week ahead.
It is.
And,
But they would love this as well because they were Inter-Dominion champions. Like Dennis got so close.
Part of the story, the whole history of the Inter-Dominion.
And actually, before we go, combine the two families, which no one else would remember bar me because it was a big result.
Right.
And I was actually hosting on Sky Channel, tipped it. Dennis had a horse called Big Bad Holmes. It was a winner championship. Must have been 2002, maybe 2003.
Opening price?
It came into 310. It might have started at 460 or something like that. And Dennis couldn't drive. He had 3 in it and put Graham Watts, son of Colin.
Yep.
And knowing they were going to back it, and Graham drove it to perfection, and they got the cash. God bless him. Big Bad Holmes, I remember it well, and just combining the two families. And when I saw them both passed away this week, I remember that.
Yep.
I don't know whether too many people remember Big Bad Holmes except me.
No,
or the fact that Graham drove it for Dennis.
It's amazing how you do always remember the winners, Michael.
Yes, indeed. You blank out the rest. You blank out the rest.
Blank them all out, but no, I don't. I don't remember that one, but... No. 460 into, what was it, 320?
310, I think it started. Ended up only just winning, and I think it was Graham's drive that got it home as well. Yeah, he's a really good horseman, Graham.
Yep.
And still is. I think he's a foreman for a thoroughbred trainer now.
Yeah,
doesn't have much to me. But Takanarama, a lot of
I do remember Takanarama coming across the Perth.
Won a nugget and won a heat.
Yeah, I do remember.
In a Dominion, yep. All right. Now, we've got to forget Bathurst on Wednesday night.
Yeah,
Let's talk about forgetting
just a wipe.
things.
Just a
we've
wipe.
got to remember Newcastle, which is God's country. In
Home of Silverchair.
Home of Silverchair.
Yes.
Greg Radley. The good Radley Tony.
The good Bray, you need to meet the good Radley.
Yeah, he's a
good
Radley. A very good man.
Yeah. He's a terrific man, Tony.
He's bought a share in both the Trots endorses.
Fantastic.
Yeah, he wants to be part of it. I said, Morts is involved. He
Beautiful.
Goes, I want to be part of it.
Beautiful. Well, hopefully we might even get him across here one day to watch him.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
But as we go to the break, Newcastle, and I'm tipping that Denny, Sky and Greg like Newcastle a lot more than Bathurst.
Yes.
Because Bathurst was a wipeout. We're forgetting that.
Didn't go well at Bathurst, but was very impressive.
Let's go back to Friday night and Newcastle for the opening round of the Inter-Dominion heats, and he made a statement, Minstrel. He was flying the WA flag and also the Gloucester Park flag. And let's listen to Denny Roberts, Team Bond, and Minstrel winning the opening heat of the Inter-Dominion.
Running a cracking race, losing ground as District Attorney. It's Gonzo. Perfect Stride got off the inside. Unfazed is about to put itself into the call. And Kanina Provlima gets up on the inside. The leader, Minstrel. Down the outside is Perfect Stride. Jillaby Nitro, Max Delight. They're all whacking away, but full of running Minstrel. And the first heat's all over. Minstrel goes home to beat Jillaby Nitro. Max Delight, a good run. And fourth home was Perfect Stride.
There's always a lot more in store for you at Retrovision. Like Retrovision's lowest price guarantee. If you find a lower price on a same-stocked item, we'll beat it. There's our 60-day price promise, where we'll refund you 120% of the difference if you find a lower advertised price on any purchase. Plus, RAC members save an extra 5% every day of the year. After 60 years, a lot has changed, but there's still a lot more in store at Retrovision.
You are listening to Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley.
He's had a soft run into the clear, charged up, hit the front. 27.6, Mr. Smarty really has to dig deep. And then rock out of Soho Firestone, but Lusaka goes for home with 120 to go, broke clear. Mr. Smarty trying hard, and then Chivalry. Lusaka's in front, Mr. Smarty chopping it down. Oh, what a win. Mr. Smarty all over the top of Lusaka to win. Chivalry ran third, and fourth, I give it to Rock.
That was Mr. Smarty, and I tell you what, Morts, at different stages, looked like he wasn't going to get there, but I tell you what, he just knows where to find the line, and it was impressive.
Like I said earlier on, Michael, wow, that was so impressive. Like you said, just did not look like he could get there. And then all of a sudden, Junior has just got into him, and he's really lifted and dug deep, and that was a fantastic win. Really was a good win. Very, very good win, because he copped that interference. Just, about the 400?
Yep.
And you thought, he could be an upset here, but boy, oh boy.
Yeah.
what a great battle. As we said earlier, it's going to be a good battle coming up
the
this Friday. But
it's mouth-watering, isn't it?
Certainly is. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, and some other good runs in the race as well going forward to that Golden Nugget. All right, this segment's brought to you by Steel Blue Boots, built for comfort, made for work. Well over 700 stockists nationwide, and Morts, they are a mark of true skill.
Certainly are, and they are designed for comfort, durability and choice, backed by a 30-day 100% comfort guarantee, which is just a load of crap because you don't need that. They are just the most comfortable work boot. And not just a work boot either. They've got some other really nice designs. You could wear them, when you go to the disco on a Saturday night, you could wear them.
Do they still have discos?
I think they do.
Indeed, you can. You can wear them. And there's so many different ranges of them as well.
Yes, there is. There is. So, no, Steel Blue, as you said, a mark of true skill.
Great party last week at Gloucester Park. 65th birthday for our great mate Ross, and 21st for Kiefer, his grandson.
Yeah, it was a great night, and I think we might have left a little bit later after the last event. No, it was a great night to celebrate the old boys' 65th.
Yep, it was really good. All right, let's get into the preview of this really good meeting on Friday night. It is the Catalano Truck San Simeon, and the first race is at 5:21. 10 races all up, and the feature race is the Catalano San Simeon. To preview his best bets for the card is a man sounding like he's going to get a job at a 0055 number, Bomber Hill. Bomber, welcome to the program.
I knew something like that was coming.
Do they still have those, the 0055s?
Oh, come on, Michael.
You're telling the story, right?
I didn't know they existed, Bomber.
Is that why you giggled to start with, Morse? Not a bad meeting, and once again, Bomber, the prices have gone up on Tab Touch nice and early for us to have a look.
Yeah, so that obviously tells us the November trial went well, I'm assuming. I was a little bit nervous today to see whether they went up or not, but yeah.
Yeah, indeed. All right, it's great to have them up so early. It helps us. It helps promotion, I think, of the meeting overall, and obviously helps the preview, the Retrovision preview at 8 a.m. on Tab Radio. All right, the first race we're going to look at, this is race number 2, the SEFS, the Asset Finance Specialist 3-year-old. This is a really nice race, and the Tab Touch market, let's have a look at it. Curious Boy, $41. Money Time Madness, $126. Pete's Honour, bit of support here for Pete's Honour, $6.50 to $3.80 already. My Silver Spoon, $13. Jimmy Rock, $6 to $4.40, so good support for Jimmy Rocks. I'm Lightning Banner at $11. Franklin Delano at $3.60. Arian Rock, $51. And then you came along. It holds the call, $3.90 to $3.40. Bomber, what do you like in the second?
Yeah, well, I'm with Jimmy Rocks. I actually thought he might have drifted a little bit. I thought there might have been a bit of support for a few others, but he's been in very good form of late, and he looks to get the opportunity to fall just in behind the speed here, I think, and come with one late run. I just like the way he's been going about it lately in pretty good races, and this could set up pretty nicely for him. I think there looks to be pressure at different points of the race, and he can get involved late.
Yeah, he's a nice little horse, Jimmy Rocks. He was the one that they almost lost that day down at Pinjarra.
Yeah. He's done a great job, Kim.
He certainly has. Kim Prentice with Mitchell Miller and some very good friends of mine, the Berrymans, are part owners there, so I always love to see Jimmy go well. So race 2, Bomber, horse number 5, Jimmy Rocks. It's some nice horses in that in the race too, so very, very handy little field, but Jimmy Rocks at $4.40. What's our staking plan for him?
Yeah, 1 unit, I think, Morts. He will need a couple of things to go his way, and as you said, it's a pretty nice race, but yeah, I do like the way he's going about it lately.
Certainly is, yeah. Been running very well. Really good.
Yep,
really
good to see. All right, the next race we're going to look at is race number 3. It's the Catalano Truck and Equipment Sales, Oogadugga Mobile Pace. And let's have a look at the market. A number of haul horses in here. Tommy Waterhouse at $9. Sugar Street, $17. Ventura, the favourite for Gary Hall Jr., who's on the Retrovision preview tomorrow morning. $1.45 into $1.30 for Ventura, our favourite horse, named after the great Jesse the Body. Coney Island Lou, who's just outside the rankings, the 12 rankings in the Golden Nugget order at $41. He'll need a good performance to go up the rankings there. Regarzo Mac, $9. Better Move Along, $126. De Horse, $151. Regal Cheval, $61. Otis, $9.50. And then we've got Rock and Roll Artist, $21. Cooper, $51. And Navy Street, $41 off the back line. Bomber, this is a nice race, packed full of the blue and gold army. What have you got for us?
Yeah, well, Regarzo Mac, he's still not out of the pocket from last week. I don't think he'll have taken absolutely no ill effects from that effort where he was just climbing all over their backs in really fast time. He was really impressive to the eye. And I don't think he can beat Ventura given the draws. I'm pretty confident he can at least place as he gets near peak fitness. So I don't think there's any doubt he's probably the best horse in the race at his best. So I'm happy to take the $2 the drum he's opened up, and I think he can, regardless of whether he has to sit up in the breeze or he can get some cover, I think it's the type of race at this point of his preparation that he can certainly run a place.
Yeah, certainly was a massive run last start. Like you said, still trying to get out of that pocket. Was absolutely everywhere he went, just couldn't get out. And Shannon Savelko was doing his very best not to go over the top, and unfortunately still ran sixth, but in a nice field. Ventura was a good first up winner here, and then its subsequent start was not so bad, ran third last week, and Coney Island just finding a bit of form as well. So it's going to be a nice competitive race. Race number 3, number 5, Regarzo Mac. What's the staking plan there, Bomber?
Yeah, 2 units of place. Mort's another race like most on the night where there's plenty of depth, but yeah, he's a really good horse when he's right, and I think he must be getting close to that.
Could almost have a little Richie on that one, yeah. Just a little sneaky.
Currently $2 a place.
Yeah, a little sneaky for the win.
$9 and $2. 1 by 3.
Yeah, little one by 3.
Half by 2, 1 by 3.
Just something like that. I think he's certainly a good chance in a very competitive race, which most of them are on Friday night, Michael. Very competitive racing.
Yeah. Now, one of the now we didn't get any luck with Regarzo Mac, but I'll tell you what, a horse that got a little bit of luck, took advantage of it, was Jaws of Lincoln, Morts.
Certainly did. He 3 pegs over 17.30.
3 pegs. It's a great place to be, 3 pegs.
I mean, we love it over 25.36, but over 17.30 as well. Guess when the speed's on.
When the speed's on, plenty of pressure. And that's the way the race looked to be set up, as Bomber said last week, suggested. And that's the way it played out. And, geez, he's a horse on the improve, isn't he?
Yeah, and that last quarter, I think, was 20, I think we said earlier, 27.4, yeah. So he's very high speed, and when you can, sit, and when you get a sit and you get a chance to sprint, he can sprint over the top of a lot of horses. So very, very impressive.
Well, there was plenty of cheering in South Australia. There's plenty of boys from over there that own him. As we go to the break, let's listen to Jaws of Lincoln and that combination of Prentice and Hall Jr. combining.
Inside and Jumping Jack Mac is out wider. Coming to the home turn, Jaws of Lincoln gets into the clear to come after Captain Ravishing. On the inside, Too Fast, Too Serious. Jaws of Lincoln has raced up, shot to the front from Captain Ravishing, and it's all over. Jaws of Lincoln sprinting away from Captain Ravishing, and Jumping Jack Mac, and Jaws of Lincoln races home to beat Captain Ravishing. Third, Jumping Jack Mac. Fourth, the photo.
New Mazda.
Yep, I love it. We got it from Bayswater Mazda.
I keep hearing great things about them.
They're fantastic to deal with. Great people, great coffee too.
At Bayswater Mazda, you'll always be well looked after. Visit the team today and find the best drive-away deals on new Mazdas and pre-owned vehicles. Driving is better with Bayswater Mazda.
So's the coffee.
Go and see Bayswater Mazda at the corner of Guildford and Garrett Road, Bayswater. DL 25174.
You are listening to Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley.
Of the field. Out wider on the track, Nullarbor Navajo. What are the odds sweeping up 5 deep? 28-2 the third quarter. Star Casino raced up to Lemandier. The outside home of 5-star General, Nullarbor Navajo. And what are the odds is right down the outside. Nullarbor Navajo. What are the odds go to Star Casino? Nullarbor Navajo. What are the odds? What are the odds down the outside? Loves to sit and sprint. And what are the odds is one from Nullarbor Navajo, Star Casino, and I'm a 5-star General.
Yeah, good. What are the odds there? And probably another one from Bomber last week. We probably should add a 1x2,
Yeah.
1x3. Good performance. Great drive by Kyle Symington. Came
Very
from off the
patient.
feed. Yeah.
Yeah, very patient drive. It was good. Got into it nicely, and when it finished very strongly.
Yeah, into 440 in the end.
Yep.
What are the odds? All right, Morts, this segment is brought to you by Retrovision, your local WA electrical appliance specialist, where RAC members receive an additional 5% every day. And have you recovered from...
Black Friday sales are officially finished.
Our Cyber Monday.
That was it was a big day. It was a big couple of weeks, and we thank everybody that supports Retrovision. But this weekend we've got up to 20% off small appliances. So you're looking for that nice little gift for Christmas Day, get into your local Retrovision store, because there's up to 20% off small appliances, and our stores have the biggest range of quality small appliances.
So what would you say is a small appliance?
Small appliances like a coffee maker or an air fryer or a kettle, toaster, that sort of small kitchen appliance. Yeah, up to 20% off. So get on down and whatever you do, don't buy mum or your loved one a kettle or anything for Christmas. Not suggesting that. Only if they need one.
Unless they want one.
Otherwise, yeah. I used to promote, I used to promote irons and things like that for Christmas. Well, you don't think I didn't cop it. Who's going to buy their mum or...
You can buy me an iron.
Yeah, correct.
I do all the ironing.
Yes. Oh, there we go. I'll drop the basket.
There we go.
Around later on.
All right, the main race of the night is the Cardilano San Simeon, $50,000 on offer. Race number 5. Let's have a look at the Tab Touch market. We've got Montana Glory, $7. Instigator, $6.50, in from $8.50. Louis Dior, 14 out to 23, back into 13. Man down, $14 to $7. Talau opened $185 out to $240. Still holds the call though. Tualu, sorry, is it?
Yep. Yeah, Tualu.
I should know it by now. Golden Load, the stablemate, $12. Frisky 6, $126. Caliente, a winner last week, $151. Hale St. Louis, $126. Then, what are the odds? $13 to $6. The Bodester, $41. And Wave Rider, $14. Bomber, which way are we going in the San Simeon tomorrow night?
Yeah, well, I picked this bloke out for a place before his price sort of halved, but what are the odds? He looks to get a lovely trailing run here from inside the back line, and whilst he will need his share of luck, I think he definitely place at worst. I wouldn't be surprised if he won. I think Montana Glory will look to go all the way off the back of her. Very good last start win when she led throughout, and while she goes up in class, she definitely deserves a chance to try and go all the way. So I think that affords what are the odds a very good run, and if his leader's back or even 3 pegs at worst, he's definitely a place chance for that turn of foot he showed last week.
Yeah, it was an amazing turn of foot, and this really is a nice field. There's some really nice horses in this, so looking forward to this on Friday night. As you said, the Catalano San Simeon pace. In terms of pace, Bomber, who do you see leading there?
Yeah, I think Montana Glory can certainly. If she wants to lead, she will. There's pace to her outside, but and she does go up in class. But I think at the 21:30, based on the time she ran last week and the way she went about it, she definitely deserves her opportunity.
Yeah, no, she went very well last week, so we'll be looking to do the same again. But for Ryan Bell and my man Trent Wheeler,
yeah,
well,
didn't he drive your horses?
That changes
last
everything.
Week?
Trent Wheeler,
yeah,
I thought he was fabulous.
Yeah, didn't he drive your horses?
Yeah, no.
Both of them gave every conceivable.
Oh, Tricky Mickey, yeah.
Yep.
He pushed off, got off, and then the stablemate wanted to get out, and he actually
tried to hold him in.
Yeah, he did. So I thought he did really well. And great drive on
Rolling Fire.
Rolling Fire was really good. So no, terrific. And he gets a chance on a nice horse. What are the odds on Friday night? So all the best to Connections and all the best to us, Bomber, as we back him. So race number 5, horse number 10. What are the odds, Ryan Bell and Trent Wheeler, and what's his staking plan there?
Yeah, 2-unit place bet was the original thought, but as I said, his price is halved now, so he probably becomes that 1x2 or 1x3 scenario.
It's another little Richie for the night. 2 Richies. Two Richies.
He's our man.
Yep.
All right, and the final race we got to look at is race number 7. This is the fillies and mares. This is a good race, even with the scratching of Akushla Marie for our man Hayden King.
It was getting dizzy, though.
Yeah, unfortunately, it scratched.
Already had 2 starts in about 24 hours.
The powerful Michael Young's stable.
Yes.
Pocket of the Change goes into the pole, $18. Little Darling, good speed, $3.10. Soho Seraphine, $14. Penny Black. Wasn't she good last week?
Very good last week, yes.
$1.85. Rocketed to 19th on the Golden Nugget rankings, $1.85. Stormy Sky at 34. A Shane Girl returns to the track at $9.50. And Wonderful to Fly for Shane Young at $6. Bomber, this is a really good mares race. Plenty of horses that, well, we've got Ashane Girl who missed the big fillies and mares race, but plenty of up-and-coming fillies and mares in this.
Yeah, it's another really nice race, but I'm hopeful that Wonderful to Fly. She's the one that draws the gate that forces her to go back here, and I'm hoping that's a bit of a blessing in disguise. She's needing Little Darling and Penny Black to lock horns early and probably go at it early and through the middle stages as well, which will leave her with a last shot from the back, and we've shown she's got a magnificent turn of foot if they do happen to run it upside down. And if Penny Black happens to cruise to the top, then it's probably all over. But I think Little Darling certainly deserves to at least attempt to try to keep her out early and make a race of it. So if they do lock horns and this mare's sitting out the back and gets the last shot, she'll scare the life out of them, mate.
Certainly will. It looks like being another great race. And, of course, Ashani Girl first up, very handy horse as well. So some depth in a very small field. But looking forward to seeing this on Friday night, race 7. Number 8, Wonderful to Fly. She's been an amazing mare.
Yes,
just amazing.
One of our favourites.
And great to see her getting back to some form, like we know she can show. So race 7, number 8, Wonderful to Fly for Shane Young. What's our staking plan there, Bomber?
Yeah, 1 unit bet. She does need those other 2 to probably go at it early, but I think she's just the right price to bet, to be fair.
All right.
Yeah, no, very good.
A couple of really good races tomorrow night. I think we've found a few winners there, hopefully. Have you got a multi for us, Bomber?
Yeah, we'll stick with the 2-legger again. We got one home last week, which was good, and hopefully this one will be pretty similar. Both horses that I think have just got too much class for their opposition, and that's race 6, number 7, Never Ending. Obviously, first up from his Eastern States campaign, but he's a class animal, and he can just sort of let it unfold and then make it up from there. He can go roll round to the breeze or come with one run, whatever the race dictates, and I think he'll make a winning return. And race 8, number 3, OK Boomer. He's a pretty classy type, this bloke, and he gets back to the stand here. He just has to step, and he'll be winning. So I think we stick those 2 together and hopefully get another result.
All right, we got race 6, number 7, and race 8, number 3, $1.60 into $1.95. That's $3.12 for the all up on Tab Touch. There we go. Two horses that have had little setbacks, but on class. I'm with you there, Bomber.
Yeah, no, I think
both heading to the Retrovision Golden Nugget.
Yep.
Yeah, which, you'd expect. Obviously, they're not going to be, particularly Never Ending. He's not going to be at his peak, but the other bloke pretty well is. So, pretty confident.
All right, Bomber, thanks for your time. Hope you're feeling better next week as we preview the Retrovision Golden Nugget next week, and we'll speak to you then.
Thanks, guys. Have a great night.
Good on you, Scott Bomber Hill.
Yes.
Been going well.
Yeah.
Back last week.
Like we said,
a little
last
bit unlucky.
Week. Yeah, he finished. Well, like we said, he finished up a couple in front. And he got the multi. So hopefully we'll get another one on Friday night. Question without notice, Michael.
Okay.
I know you love these, but this is going to be a simple one for you. Yeah. Race number 1. There's 2 emergencies. Why?
I'm not sure. They just might have had enough for it and just put it in there and went, okay, well, if you want to be emergency, you can in case there's scratchings and fill up the race so it's a full field.
Because I know in the San Simeon there is. And
usually the feature race, but
there is, but it's just unusual to see a race with a couple of emergencies.
Yeah,
so.
I'm not sure how they they decide whether they have emergencies or not. I think it just depends on the individual race and ballots and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was just interesting to see that there.
Yeah.
So it was That was painless.
Yeah. There you go. For once.
Painless.
Now, Bomber's going away from Penny Black in the main race with Penny Butterfly.
It was very good last week.
Yeah.
Very good.
Let's go to the break with Penny Black, who's in the top 20 now for the rankings.
Yes.
And if she wins on Friday night, might even go up even further as they
Very
finalise
close.
the field for the Retrovision Golden Nugget the following week. But as we go to the break, this is Penny Black. She had to do it tough. She had to sit outside Instigator, but she never gave in, kept on coming and got the cash.
The turn, 28.6 the third quarter. Instigator in front. Here's Frisky Sticks, 3 wide. Trying to get out behind them is a Storyteller, but there's still no run. Sticking on Penny Black. Magnus Victor to the outside. Instigator in front of Penny Black. Storyteller's trying to get out. Penny Black clawed its way to the front though. Instigator fights back the inside. Penny Black, Instigator, Penny Black, Instigator, and it's Penny Black a nose to Instigator, who is dipping its nose down.
Hi, I'm Steve Sell from Loans 123. We are car finance specialists. We can help you find the loan you're looking for, your new car, and help find a home for your old one. If you want a new or used car but feel uncomfortable visiting car yards on your own, we can help and often save you money. For a stress-free way of buying and financing your next car, who do you see? Steve Sell at loans123.com.au or call 1800 100 100.
Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley on Tab Radio, Racing and Sport.
A length off the frosting in, pre-safe for the last one, but San Simeon's the leader. Racing inside the 400 by a length of a quarter on Cownie Night, which is sticking to its guns and neck back on the inside to single again. Frosting in, taking off 3 wide, but San Simeon sprints away. 250 metres to go. He's put a great space in them now. He's about 4 lengths in front of single again. Cownie Night, Frosting in, can't run on. The one out wide on the course was Outstraw, but it's all over. San Simeon racing away for a brilliant win here in the 1981 Dominion. San Simeon goes to the post full of running, and he wins by about 12 metres on single again. A length back on the outside.
There he is, San Simeon, the winner of the 81 Inter Dominion. He suffered his first defeat ever in that series, and then he bounced back to win. And there's a great video, like harness racing video. We used to watch, myself and my brother Greg used to watch it like once a week, I reckon, if not twice a week, as we were growing up. We were very nerdy. Called Night of Glory. And it was the history of the Inter Dominion.
I do have a copy.
And there's a great segment on the 81 Inter Dominion with Lou Austin talking about it and Vinnie Knight talking about it. And yeah, and just how it transpired. And of course he was beaten by Michael Frost for the Michael and Joe Ilsley. Great family, who I got to know as well later on, and but what a great horse he was, San Simeon, and great man Louis Austin.
Certainly was, and the crowd, Michael.
You could hear in the background at Tasmania.
You could hardly hear the caller for the crowd, and that's not like what they do these days, where they generate a crowd to make it sound good. That was just the crowd, and you could hardly hear the caller. Yeah, and that was when you had the big crowds.
There
it was great.
We might next year when we come back, if we come back, we might do more flashbacks.
Yes,
and actually delve in, because even taking segments from Seasons of Glory, we talked to Hunty about that and see if we can get little segments and play them and do little flashbacks like that.
Yeah, and I think people. It's one of those sports we do.
Night of Glory, we
do reminisce about it.
Yeah, might pull a couple of Night of Glories out as well.
And we spoke about Retro Round. We're going to have some of the old crew back. So we'll mix it up and make it a bit of fun.
All right, of
course we'll have Bray when he gets off.
He's watching Hong Kong, I think.
Hong Kong. Not sure it's. Racing is watching.
All right. This segment's, before we get to Ollie, this segment's brought to you by Bayswater Mazda. Driving is better in a Bayswater Mazda. Corner of Guildford and Garrett Road, and you know better than anyone else.
Certainly do, Michael. Love my Mazda, and as I said the other day, the CX-80 is out. It's outstanding. I had a look inside one, just amazing. But get on down and see the team at Bayswater Mazda. Great range, great service, and they still have the best coffee in town.
Aren't they?
Yes. No, very good. Great bunch of people. They will look after you, like all of our good sponsors do.
Don't they support us?
Great. Really good.
They're lining up to come back in 2025.
Yeah, well. I know. We probably have to turn some away. We've got them knocking down our door.
They know we've got the 14 listeners.
Yes. Well,
they know there's value.
It went up one tonight, which is good.
Yeah, they know there's value. All right. Standing on the line is our provincial and Queensland expert and a Gloucester Park guru in Oliver County. Ollie, welcome to the program.
Hey, Morts, Rads, good to be on. It was a great week of racing the past week.
Wasn't it? I'm glad we were here and not in Bathurst last night. It looked terrible conditions.
Yeah, it sure did, didn't it? It's a real shame that both the heats of the Inter-Dominion so far have just been terrible weather. It looks like really tough conditions, and it certainly didn't do Minstrel any favours. Whether that was the cause of the gear malfunction or not, I'm not really too sure. But it was a real shame to see Hugh take no competitive part and now need to get some points in that final round to make it through to the final.
No, and you know it's about 3 hours back from Bathurst to Menangle as well, or Cobbitty, where they're staying, the team bond. But I'm telling you what, I'm tipping they like my hometown better than Bathurst in Newcastle.
Yes, I'm sure.
I think they liked it a whole lot better.
I'm sure
it would have been a real tough trip back, wouldn't it? With Tenzin Bromack running a terrific race, but sort of finishing near last, and Minstrel taking no competitive part.
Newcastle's further away than Bathurst from Menangle Cobbitty, but I'm tipping it felt a lot quicker home from Newcastle.
Yeah, that's for sure. I think so too.
Yes.
But there was some interesting racing there.
No, there was some good racing, and then we head into, and it just made the series so interesting as far as points go as well, which we discussed in the first segment.
Yeah.
And I think Minstrel is an absolute moral on Saturday night.
Yeah, no, it'd be very hard to beat, and
they bet 210. It'll start odds on.
It's going to be very hard to beat in the final, but there were some good wins on Wednesday night in Arano for Jackie. How cool's Jack Callaghan?
It was very muddy.
He's very cool.
Different stages.
He's very cool. Don Hugo hit back, and he hit back big time for
L.A. McCarthy.
For the best tens and got left behind. And Pete said so at $51. Thank you very much.
I think Fred Hastings gave it a big push as well.
Well, there we go.
I was actually surprised when I saw Pete said so flashed 50. Up at 50, not because he should have been shorter, but I thought he probably would have been triple that price. I thought he was absolutely no chance, and I saw it flash up 50s, and I thought, gee, that was unders.
Right.
There we go. All right. We might get a tip for you if you've changed your mind a little bit later on. But let's get into the so find some winners from over the weekend. We start at Friday. We got Wagen along with Gloucester Park on Friday night. There's 8 races. The first at 6:07. Have you got a couple for us at Wagen, Ollie?
I do, and we'll kick things off in race 3. I think there's one here which we can back, and there's also a driver I think we can follow going forward with a bit of confidence. I think Abby Vidovic is a really promising young driver. It looks like she's really confident and comfortable in the kart, so I think she's definitely got a good future driving horses, and I think she can get a winner here on Friday night at Wagen with She's a Lucky Penny. This horse has good gate speed. It really zipped off the gate recently to find the front there at Bunbury and then took a sit and didn't get the best of luck there, but it was probably a harder race. And then last start got to the pegs again and just never saw daylight and looked to be travelling sweetly in that race. I think this horse can zip over in the early stages, lead them up and really give them something to catch. Gold Horseshoe certainly will be the one to beat and may well be the favourite in the race, but probably not a horse that wins often and doesn't have much change-up speed and sort of just is always thereabouts, but never quite putting his head in front. So I think we can be on She's a Lucky Penny and hopefully lead all of the way there. The next one I've got for us at Wagen is race 7.
Sorry, I was just going to say, Ollie, I have to agree with you about Abby. I think she's going to be a terrific driver.
Yeah, only 18, had only the 27 drives, but a couple of wins and
she's got a great
4
future
placings,
in front of her. Yeah, no, really good. So, good to see... got a chance to drive on there on Friday night at Wagen.
Yeah, definitely. I just think she looks so assured of herself for such a young driver, and you can often see young drivers sort of take a little while to find their feet out there driving in races, but it just doesn't seem to have been the case with her, and she chalked up her first win pretty quickly, and I think there'll be plenty to come after that. So certainly no concern there with our driver at Wagen to start things off. And then in race 7, this is a horse actually which I've always liked to back when there's been a good driver that jumps on. And in race 7, we've got Elephant Rock and Donald Harper teaming up in this race. And this is a horse I've always really liked to back, and it's got nice speed. It's got really good gate speed, and I think he can find the front in this race and really give them something to catch. He's in his numerical form isn't so good, but he's going a lot better than that for mine. And this is a really quite a weak race with not a lot of depth. So if he does get out there on the front end, he'll take plenty of catching. So happy to be with Elephant Rock there.
Apologies to the owners of the other horses there, Ollie, but it's okay. Next race.
Then we head to Gloucester Park Saturday night, and 8 races at Gloucester Park. The first at 6:15.
Jeez, it was tough.
Have you got a couple for us, Ollie?
Yeah, I do. In race 3, this is a horse that just had absolutely no luck last start. Soho Skyfall copped a flat tire in the early stages and still wasn't beaten far there at Pinjarra by a decent bunch of horses. So that looks really pretty good form for this. And I think there's a few horses out wide that go quite well. Me Flash has been racing well, and Henwood Bay and Cloud9. But I think with the barrier draw advantage, Soho Skyfall will be incredibly hard to beat, and potentially we could even look at back in the Quinella with Soho Gigolo, who was really good last start, and he seems to be racing well as well. So they look the standout too, and have a strong lean to Soho Skyfall in that race.
Yeah, nice field. Good field. Some good chances in that one.
Yeah, certainly a field with a lot more depth than that 7th race at Wagen.
All right, mate. My phones have started tweeting and messages and all that coming in, but it's all right. Ollie, off we go. Yep. No. Right. So race 3 at Gloucester Park on the Saturday night.
Yeah, number 1. What else you got for us?
In race 7, I've got a horse which I was really impressed by last start. It was a very good 7th, I thought, for Seminole Junior. He got checked a number of times. Like after zipping off the gate, he showed some pretty good gate speed there, and it just really worked out quite poorly with a horse galloping in front of him, and then he was looking for runs and they weren't coming. And I thought he did really well to just keep trying, keep battling on. And this looks a perfect race for him to come off the gate, hand up to American Major, and then run a place from there. I think American Major's a pretty smart horse, and he should be going around short odds, and I think he'll be pretty hard to beat there for the stable of Ryan Bell. But I think Seminole Junior can be one that places for us at hopefully a bit over even money, I'd be hoping for.
And for another good young driver as well in Liam Elliott.
Yes.
Yeah, certainly a driver on the rise, isn't he?
Yep.
And that American Major is the American Ideal Our Major Mama.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So it is a nice type.
They actually do. They do. I think it goes okay. All right.
So very good.
All right, Albion Park. Have you got any for us, Albion Park, Saturday night? 8 races, the first at 6:10.
Certainly, and I won't make his wait too long. There's one in this first race which I think we can get really good each way value about. She's in line. At the moment on harness.org, it's $51. It certainly won't be that big a price, but I think it'll still be pretty good each way value. Danielle McMullen, she jumps on this horse, and every time she's driven it, it's gone really well. It just might be a horse that needs a stronger driver and gets that on Saturday. So I think she can zip over in the early stages, highly respected. And Isla and Addie, they're probably a bit outclassed in this race, and she's in line's been racing some nice horses recently. So I think she can zip over in the early stages. She can really something to catch there. Mickey Magic's a sit sprint type, so I can see it getting back to near last in this race, and I certainly wouldn't want to be on it at short odds. So happy to be with She's in Line out in front in that race.
All right. Is that the only one, or you got another one for us?
I got another one in race 4. This is one I tipped up last week and managed to get beat at pretty short odds. But I think we can just go again. It was a total forgive. It worked for the top, didn't get there, and then sat in the running line and sprinted home nicely. Targaryen just looks extremely well suited in a Band 4 race. It is a horse that's been racing in free-for-all company a large portion of its career in Queensland. So back to a Band 4 looks very suitable, and he's in great form. So I think he can lead and he can win that race.
All right, for Jack and Chloe Butler, Targaryen. All right, hopefully we've found a few winners. And the End of Dominion, the third round of heats come up. Minstrel, I think he's drawn perfectly. I think he'll win. 205. I think he's a much better chance this week of winning than he was at Bathurst, drawn the outside, and he was very short. So I think he's a complete moral, Ollie.
I totally agree with that. I definitely think he's a better chance in this race. It'll be interesting how it plays out, but the way I saw it, I thought Don Lew would zip off the gate. He'd be able to find the front, and from there, I think Minstrel will sit outside of him and probably just be too good. I thought this head was really not that strong, and he looked a standout in that race. So I agree. I definitely think he'll prove extremely hard to beat in that one.
And good to see our horse, Ollie, Don Hugo, bounce back to form. A little bit of a wobble after the first heat, but L.A. McCarthy had him spot on for the second heat.
I think this has a Luke McCarthy masterclass written all over it. He maybe wasn't fully screwed down in that first heat coming off the back of a spell, and there were certainly a few question marks off the back of that, but he put those to bed, winning dominantly there, and he's probably nearly just about sewn up a spot in the final. He's going to go around probably a pretty short price favourite in that race on Saturday, but I thought a horse that was equally good last night at Bathurst was Jim RT. He was flashing home in a race that really didn't suit those horses, running home out wide on the track. So I thought from gate 1 he'd be really hard to beat in that race, but it'll certainly depend on what happens in the early stages, and District Attorney does have plenty of gate speed, so if he was to zip across and bury Jim RT on the pegs, that could certainly make things harder. But I do think Jim RT has the gate speed to dictate, so that's the one I'd be with at current prices in that race.
Yeah, it just depends whether Rick Thurlow wants to hold District Attorney and maybe hand over to John Hugo and follow and give him his chance that way, or happy to let the other one go across and hope he holds out Don Hugo. And either way, I think still being on the pegs is going to help at Menangle in that final round.
Definitely, and I think as we were talking about, Don Hugo's the right horse to follow if that is the way it plays out, and I think Jim RT and Don Hugo would likely be the ones fighting out the finish if that's the way the map played out. So it could even be a little Quinella bet or something like that if that's a map that we think's going to play out.
Yeah, we knew it was going to be an even series, and it's just intriguing, isn't it? There's a heap we thought horses that would be entrenched in the top 12 that are really bordering the top 12 and struggling to make this final. So it's actually turned into a really interesting series as opposed to just horses dominating.
Definitely, it's wide open, and I think we saw last night a few horses that maybe hadn't been as impressive in the first round of heats really stand up to be counted there. Don Hugo, Pete said so, obviously bobbed up at big odds, but I really do think Minstrel is clearly still the one to beat. He's a real classy horse, and I think over the 2300 at Menangle, there's plenty of ways he can win that race. I think now Don Hugo does look the hardest to beat, and maybe another horse, Max Delight, hasn't done a lot wrong, but certainly outside of those, there are another few chances that wouldn't be a total shock if they popped up and were able to win in the final.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Yep. As we said, very evenly balanced. So looking forward to this last Saturday night of heats, and then we go back to Menangle the following Saturday for the final over 2,300 metres.
Yes. So yeah, Saturday, 2,300. So and interesting, it's 8 and 4 at Menangle as well. So the mobile configuration for the Interdominion series. So but really good. Ollie, great to talk to you as always. Mort will speak to you next week.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right.
Thanks,
Good
mate.
luck and good punting.
Thanks, guys.
Ollie Cownie there. Been a big show, Morts.
Always a big show, Michael.
Hopefully we've found a few winners for everyone.
Found a few. I think we probably have. As we said, we've got plenty coming up. Next week is
the
of course, the
Retrovision
Golden Nugget.
What a great race it is.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Really, really interesting. Like, to your point earlier on, we've got Mr. Smarty and we've got Never Ending, but boy, are they surrounded by talent.
Yeah.
You know, and so often you can go into a race and focus on a couple of horses.
Yeah.
And something else.
Oh, it's a lot of depth. This crop all the way through has had so much depth.
Yeah, just imagine if they both drew awkwardly. Let's say awkwardly. All of a sudden, game on to what could be one of the best golden nuggets we've seen. So really can't wait. Should be great. But we've got to get through tomorrow night, and we've got some really good racing as we talked about when we were talking to Bomber. Some really competitive racing. The San Simeon looks really, really good.
The Mares race.
And horses coming back. So got a big night tomorrow night at Gloucester Park. Then of course we're at Wagen and back here at Gloucester Park on Saturday night.
Yeah.
So the Saturday night, I've seen it before in previous years. You have it in the lead up to Christmas. Is it trying to cater for Christmas parties or things like that?
Yeah, we have only 2 Saturday nights a year, just Christmas, and both for Christmas bookings and all that sort of stuff. And really, really strong bookings again this year. So the next couple of weeks are just massive. Like, I think we're booked out, just about tomorrow night. There might be a couple of seats here and there.
Yep.
Golden Nugget, I think, is just about sold out as well now already.
Yep.
And the 2 Saturday nights have been really strong. So yeah,
no, that's terrific.
Yeah.
No, good to see people get along and enjoy the enjoy the night.
It's been a good Christmas period for us.
And see some really good racing.
Yeah, it's good, and that's the other thing. Some great racing as well.
Yeah, absolutely, should be good. So I reckon
looking forward to it.
Anybody still listening, they're
we've been a bit quicker tonight, haven't we?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. We've got to get our man
a microphone. Yeah.
Got to get him mic'd up.
Marcel in the corner there.
Just sits there. We don't know what he's doing on that mobile phone.
No.
But no, it would be good to have you on. It was a good show during the week on Centre Square, and if you aren't listening, make sure you get along and have a listen. I'm sure you're
Brady's mate, who I can never remember.
Ethan.
He's mate of Bray.
Yeah, Bray and Ethan, Centre Square. They had Aidan O'Driscoll on. It was good listening. So get along and have a listen. It was terrific.
All right. Thanks to Bray for pressing the buttons again. It's been a difficult one. We've had a few little obstacles to overcome.
Little hiccups, but we got through it.
We got through it. Morts, thank you. This is my last show for the year.
Yes.
I'm not here next week, so we're working on a co-host for you.
Whereabouts are you going, Michael?
I've got to go east.
Got to go east.
Yeah.
What's on east, Michael?
Harness Racing Australian meetings.
Right.
Into Dominion.
Oh, terrific.
Into a break with the family.
Oh, very nice.
Catching up with my mum and...
Spending Christmas there or coming back home?
No.
Coming back?
Yeah, but a week there.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
but I thought I'd do it all together while I'm there.
Okay, I was talking about your lovely Nicole. I was talking to her, had a glass of red wine with her owner, boss, whatever you want to call him, last night over in Sydney. So, yeah, very good.
That's very good.
Very good. All right.
All right, Morts, good luck next week.
Thank you.
Whoever your co-host is.
Whoever, poor person.
Might even get one of your listeners in, eh?
Yes. Well, doesn't give me many to choose from,
that's
but
right.
I'm sure there's a good one there. So, look forward to it. It'll be a big show, Golden Nugget coming up. So, have a listen. Don't forget, now, we talked about the card, how good the card is, and there's one man that has got so many good drives tomorrow night. That's Gary Hall Jr.
Yes.
And Jr. will be on the Retrovision
Gloucester Park Tab Radio preview.
Correct. So, get along and have a listen.
And while we're there, Tim Walker, 9 years at Tab Radio this week.
Wow, okay, that went quick.
Yeah, 9 years.
9 years.
What an asset he's been.
He certainly has.
What an asset.
I'm sure he's that old.
No one's heard us give him a mention because everyone's tuned up now, but Timmy Walker, we salute you.
Yeah, no, 9 years, that's
You're an
terrific,
asset not only to the harness industry, but racing in general.
Certainly is. Certainly is.
All right, Morts, good luck. Good luck next week as well.
Thank
good luck
you.
this week.
Yep.
Never ending.
Yeah, no, looking forward to it.
He's back.
Pretty exciting. You know, he wouldn't be there if Justin didn't think he was right. So he's there, which means he thinks he's right. And obviously we want to make sure he improves.
And if you run second in the Golden Nugget, I hope it's by the stablemate.
Oh, very clever, Michael. Very clever. Yeah, look.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Those blue and red colours down the outside, or inside maybe.
Yeah, it was a terrific run last week.
It was good.
Really was.
He bounced back.
Really good drive by our man, Trent Wheeler.
Have you locked him in for next week?
Trent, absolutely.
Beautiful.
Yeah, no, couldn't be happier with his drive. His 2 drives last week, so look forward to seeing him on board Rolling Fire next Friday night in the Retrovision Golden Nugget, Michael.
All right, thanks for listening, everyone. Morts will be back next week with a special co-host. Until next year for me, but until next week for Morts, it's bye for now.
Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley on Tab Radio, Racing and Sport.
Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelpline.org.au.